Collection time, guys, and today I'm going to be showing off my Nintendo Switch collection, which is around 25 games, so it's not the biggest collection on YouTube, but what a system. Absolutely fantastic system, and the range of games available is just incredible. And yeah, there'll be people saying that it's vastly underpowered compared to, well, the last generation of Xbox and PlayStation consoles, but the unique selling point of the Switch is that you can have this and you can take it where you want and play it, and that's what appealed to me the most. It wasn't so much the power or anything like that, it was the fact that I could take that to work and play console quality games on the go. Everything the Vita should have been, although that wasn't the hardware's fault, that was Sony's for not supporting it. But that's a sore subject for me. I did love the Vita, but without the support, it wasn't as good as it could have been. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So, I'm going to start with my controller collection. Can I call it a collection? There's only 3 of them, but I'll show you my controllers. Obviously, it comes with Joy-Cons, which are great for if you want to be doing your motion controls and things like that. You can detach them from the system and, you know, use them like you could the nunchucks and Wiimotes on the Nintendo Wii and Wii U. But yeah, if you want a controller, there's a whole range of them out there, and the best of the bunch, by a country mile, it does cost the most at around £50, but it is the Switch, if I can, I'll put it there. There we go. It's the Switch Pro controller, and it is so comfortable. It's got a lovely weight to it, and yeah, it just feels so amazing. The battery life on it is incredible too. And you can use it with the actual tablet as well. So fantastic, absolutely fantastic. If you get a Switch, just pay the little bit extra and grab that. You will not regret it. And there's a whole range of cheaper versions out there as well. Usually come with designs on it of Nintendo characters, and I've got 2 Pokemon ones, as I'm a Pokemon fan. The first one is this Charmander one. I did want the Squirtle one, but they didn't have it in stock. I think I got this for roughly £20 from Asda. It was in the sale, and that's from a company called Power A that do a lot of accessories. Not the best, nowhere near as nice as the Pro controller, but yeah, if you just want a cheap oh, it's not wireless either, it needs a wire in there. It's a wired controller, but if you want a cheap controller, these are very good for the price, if I don't smash it. And my other one is this Pikachu Pokemon one, and along the same sort of lines as the last one, although it does have some extra buttons here. I don't know what they're for, but it's by Power A again, and this is a lot lighter. It doesn't feel anywhere as nice as the others, but you know, again, I think I paid 16 quid for that. It was a bit cheaper, but yeah, the kids use these if we go on Mario Kart or anything like that. So, one of the games that I have got, but it's digital, and it came with the system, is the aforementioned Mario Kart, which is just fantastic. Was released on the Wii U, of course, but yeah, it plays wonderfully on the Switch, and I love Mario Kart. A lot of people say it's not the best kart racer, but I still really, I love the series. Right from the Super Nintendo, I have fond memories of it, so yeah. That came on. Oh, and this is also the extra battery life model as well, which I got. I didn't know anything about it. I just went to buy a Switch, got home and watched some reviews on it, and I realised that I got the higher capacity battery life on it. So yeah, bonus that. So we'll go into games which I've sorted into a kind of alphabetical order, but there's a whole range of games here. And the first one is Aces of the Luftwaffe, and this is a shmup. I'll maybe put gameplay footage up, but I have played this. It's really hard, of course. None of them come with anything really. I've taken all the cartridges out. But yeah, it's hard, or shmups are hard for me anyway, but it's a really fun game, and I got that for about £7. It wasn't an awful lot. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a ranking for each game. So out of 10, I'd give that a 6. It is a good game. Next up then is the game what helped people get through lockdown, and that is Animal Crossing. And it is a good game. It's a lot of fun, but it does get old hat rather quick. And basically you set up an island and you do all the tasks that you can, get all the fish that you can for that day and fruit and whatnot. Sell, do any tasks, and build your island up, really. It's as easy as that. Yeah, like I say, it gets a bit old hat, but it is a fun game. I haven't been on it for about a year, so God knows what my island's looking like at the moment. But yeah, I'd give that a solid 7 out of 10. And these are my own personal ratings. They're not what the wider community would rate these games at, because I know a lot of people would give Animal Crossing 9 or 10 out of 10. Next up then is my favourite game of all time. I had to get it. Baldurs Gate, Baldurs Gate 2. Nowhere, that's blank inside. Nowhere near as good as the PC or even tablet versions. The controls are just so fiddly, as I've mentioned in my review. But it does run really well on the system, and yeah, you have got that nostalgia hit, and it looks nice, plays well. I can't really moan, it's just the controls that really put me off. But as a conversion, I'd give that about 7. Next up then, Borderlands Collection, and it's got Borderlands pre-sequel and Borderlands 2. And let me tell you, this is fantastic. I love the franchise anyway, but on the Switch it plays so well. It's a really good conversion of all the games. So what happens is you get the first game on a cartridge, and then the other 2 you download. But it runs so smooth on the Switch, and it just looks great. I'm really enjoying playing this at work at the moment, so I think am I on Borderlands 2 actually? Can't remember, but I could play them for hours. I really enjoy the games. I'd give it a 9. I really would. It's that good on the Switch. Next up, I haven't played this game, but I got it for really cheap from Curry's PC World, and it's Big Pharma, where you run a pharmaceutical company making pharmaceuticals. It's not had great reviews, but it tries to be a little bit different to Theme Hospital in a sense. But yeah, I've not played it, so I can't comment on that. Next up, another game I haven't played because it's still sealed, and that is the Blob II. I got this for about £5 as well off Game Collection, and it's a little bit like Splatoon. It's seen a release on quite a few systems. The Xbox 360, I seem to remember. I think there was a Blob on the DS as well, actually. So, yeah, I can't comment. I've never played any of them, and I've not played that one as yet. I will do at some point. Next up is another game which I got for £30 off a gaming group. I think it was a chap called Tony Howell, actually, who sold me this, if I remember right. And it is Skyrim. And again, amazing conversion. It doesn't look as nice as the console versions, but it plays wonderfully well. There's not massive loading times either. It's... Oh, you do get the Zelda shield and sword as well. I forgot about that with the Switch version. It's also got the added DLC on there. But yeah, if you're wanting a Skyrim or Elder Scrolls experience, you can't go wrong with this. It's really good on the Switch, and it does implement motion controls as well on the game. So if you're into that, then yeah, knock yourself out. Oh, I keep forgetting to do this. I'd give Skyrim a solid 9. It's fantastic on the system. Next up, FIFA 20, and your first thing you'll see is Legacy Edition, as they all are on the Switch. And big controversy with that. Basically, you're paying for the same game year after year, except, if I can focus on that, updated kits, squads and stadiums only. And that's the issue. They're charging full price as well. I think one of the reviews, they just recycled from the year before in a little jab, but a code there if you want 20% off your next purchase with adidas.com. But yeah, as a football game, it's really good. I can't moan at the controls or anything like that. Plenty of teams and modes to sink your teeth into, and it looks great on the Switch in handheld mode. All these games look okay on the TV, but in handheld mode on the smaller screen, I don't know, they do look better, in my opinion. So this, if you want a football experience, you can't really go wrong with this. I'd give it a 7, 8. Next up is Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams Ultimate Edition, and I believe Giana Sisters was originally a game which was a clone of Mario Brothers, and it's funny how Nintendo finally put it onto the system. You know, it was an unofficial game, and now there it is on Nintendo systems. There is one on the DS as well that I'm aware of, and it's just a 2D platformer. Really nice, to be fair. Some really interesting visuals, and you swap from daytime, nighttime, and you have different gems you collect for each sister. It's really interesting concept, quite a unique game in a way. So I think I paid about £7. It was worth the money, to be fair. I'd give that a 7 out of 10. Next up is a remake of a PlayStation 2 game. I don't think it was on the original Xbox or GameCube, but I could be wrong there. And it is Legend of K, the anniversary. And it's not a well-known game off the PlayStation 2. Basically, it was a 3D action platformer where you play as K and you learn the way of the ninja, I guess, with your sword. But the camera on it was legendarily bad on it. And that's probably why a lot of people don't remember it. It never got the exposure that it maybe deserved with a better camera. This version I hear does fix that. You do get a better camera on it, but not as default. You have to go into the settings and change it. It starts with the original camera of the original game for some strange reason, and that's why everyone moaned about it. But yeah, I can't comment. I haven't played it, so I can't really give that a rating. Next up then is a game that I got given to me off a friend, Alex Watson, and that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And what a game. It is beautiful. Absolutely stunning graphically. It's really, really nice. And yeah, it was a Wii U game, but I think most people will probably associate it with the Switch now. And a launch game with the Switch as well. And I didn't want to like this at first. It was so radically different from the other Zeldas in the respect that you don't go into a temple or dungeon and kill a boss at the end and then a new item that you can use to go to the next dungeon. But what it does do is it stays true to the original premise of the game, where they wanted you to feel like you was in another world exploring, and that's exactly what you do in this. It's so good, and probably my favourite game on the system, and probably one of my favourite games ever. It's that good. Easy 10 if you haven't played this, and even if you're not into Zelda, if you like your open world games, it's still worth a go. It's beautiful. It really is. Next up is another game I haven't played. I got this on the cheap as well. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. like a tactical turn-based game where you against the Rabbids, I assume, and you're Mario. You got to save the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh no, team up with Mario and the Rabbids to save the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, I don't know much about it. The second one has been announced for the Switch. The game I'm playing at the moment, new Pokemon Snap, and the original was fantastic on the N64, and it's rare for me to praise the N64, but that premise was so unique at the time, and essentially if you've never played the Pokemon Snap games, it's an on-rail shooter, if you like. I say shooter because you don't actually have a gun, you have a camera, but it's still like a first-person shooter in the respect that you've got to aim at what you're going to take a snap of, and you're on this this one route, and you can do certain things to try and make the Pokemon do certain poses or run or things like that to get better pictures. And yeah, this version is really good. Really enjoying my time in it, to be fair. I've not played it with the motion controls, but I believe you can. And yeah, I'd give this a... If you're a fan of the first one on the N64, it's so faithful to that. I'd give it an 8. It's a really good game. So the first of the Mario games, or proper Mario games, we have had the Rabbids one, but this is Super Mario You Deluxe, and of course it's off the Wii U. But a whole lot of fun. I played this with my kids over Christmas, and yeah, the 3-player and 4-player on it is just absolutely mental, but it's so much fun. Incorporates the Mario magic, as you'd expect. 164 courses, and it does have the Super Luigi U, which I believe is a really difficult version. So, yeah, if you like Mario, definitely one to get. I'd give that a solid 8. A game I haven't really played as yet, unfortunately, and it is Octopath Traveler. And again, I got this for quite cheap off a friend on Facebook called Tam. And yeah, Octopath Traveler. And it harks back to the Final Fantasy 16-bit era. And there you go. And 8 heroes, 8 stories, 1 adventure, and turn-based battles like Final Fantasy. It's a really interesting concept, and one that I really want to try. It is out actually on Game Pass on the Xbox. Next up is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And again, it's a really interesting concept, this. It takes full advantage of the motion controls, and you link it up to Pokemon Go on mobile devices. It only includes the first generation, and you, of course, going around that story. You start off with Eevee, but you don't battle Pokemon in the wild. You just try and catch them like you would on Pokemon Go. You still have trainer battles, but not as many. Really nice game, to be fair. It's not bad at all. And it was the first game where you could see what was running about, so you could go towards it, and they incorporated that in the next game, which I'll show you. I got that from Asda. I went for the Eevee, by the way, because you can easily catch Pikachu on this game. So there's no point in starting with Pikachu when I could start with an Eevee and catch a Pikachu in the forest, if that makes sense. I'm sure it will if you're into Pokemon. I'd give that an 8 as well. Pokmon Shield. Now, I did a review on this before. I quite like the game, to be fair. It's not the best Pokemon experience you're ever going to have. But, yeah, it brings in some unique features and takes full advantage, again, of the Switch system. I think the setting is wonderful. I think they captured Britain rather well, or Britain-esque type setting. But, yeah, it's maybe a tired franchise, and I say maybe it is a tired franchise. I think Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu brought more to the table than this did, but again, it's not a bad entry into the franchise, and it's a lot better than the Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS, which I thought were dreadful. But yeah, I'd give that a 7. A game I bought from a gaming market, it was sealed. It was, I think, £6 or £7. Was it even £5? It was really cheap anyway. And it is Scribblenauts Showdown. I've not played a Scribblenauts game. You write things down and it helps you in the story, essentially. Quite interesting concepts. I should maybe try this game, but at the moment I haven't, so I can't comment on it. A favourite among the YouTube community, Sinmara X, and it's a shooter, but it has some really, really nice visuals on it. Again, difficult for me. I find shooters really hard, as most people do. They're designed to be tough, but if you're into shooters, it's well worth getting. And again, really cheap. I'd give, as a shooter, I'd probably score it pretty high, about 7, 8. The limited Super Mario 3D AllStars, which everybody has got, and you saw copies everywhere. But this is really good. I can't moan whatsoever. You get 3 classic games in one. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, which is beautiful on the Switch, and Super Mario Galaxy, which is very good as well on the Switch. It controls so well with the motion controls, as you would expect. Mario 64 looks great as well. I'm not a big fan of Mario 64 whatsoever, but this is a good version of it, and I have played some of it. It's better than the DS version, and the DS version was considered pretty good as well. But yeah, this is a must for retro gamers who have got a Switch. 3 fantastic games like that, and Sunshine and Galaxy especially are just wonderful on there. I'd give that a 9. Then we've got Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. 3D World is, I believe, a remake of the 3DS version, and that's a big problem. Now, this is a good game, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed my time with it, but without the 3D, it makes making certain jumps really difficult. Where if you're playing with a 3DS, you'd be able to make those jumps quite easily. I did find that, but overall, it's a decent Mario experience. I'd give that a 7. I haven't played Bowser's Fury, actually. Then we come across the best Mario game on the system, and this is Super Mario Odyssey, and it's just wonderful. The settings, Cappy as well, it was an interesting addition to the Mario franchise. So you throw Cappy on certain things and then you can control them things. Most notably enemies, so you can throw that cap onto a Cheep and you can become a Cheep and get to certain areas that you wouldn't be able to get with as Mario. And yeah, the settings are great. You've got ice worlds, you've got a desert world, and a New York City type area as well. It's fantastic. It really is. An absolute must. That's a... I've really enjoyed my... Do you know, I'm going to give it a 10. I really, really like that. Another cheap game I haven't played is This Is the Police. I think this is 2, or is it 1? Don't say. But yeah, it's... I don't know anything about it. I'm not even going to pretend I do. It looks like a turn-based tactical investigation game, but yeah, I won't guess. Next up then is Victor Vran, which is a bit of a gem, if you ask me. Not a lot of people talk about this game, but it's really good. It is available on the PS4 and the Xbox One as well. And it is a roguelite type action RPG game. It's really, really good. The action on the screen can get absolutely manic. When you're in a certain area as well, it gives you tasks to do, like kill all the certain types of enemies in under 2 minutes or something like that. So it adds something to the game as well. Yeah, really good. It has a Motorhead DLC included with it as well. I've got it on the Xbox One, and you get some postcards with it with Motorhead and some scenes from Victor Vran. It's really good game. I'd give that an 8. This is a game I haven't really played as yet, and it is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. I bought this quite cheap. I think it was $14.99. Have I got the receipt actually? No. I think it was $14.99. It wasn't overly expensive. And it harks back to the days of like your Baldurs Gates and RPGs of that sort of ilk. Now, what drew me to this is there's a guy who worked on it called Chris Avallone, and he was one of the original people to work on the Fallout and Baldurs Gate games as well. So just with that in mind, I thought, yeah, it's worth a go for sure. There is a Wasteland 3 out as well at the moment. I don't know how new it is, but it hasn't been out an awful long time. And it is on Game Pass, as is this, I believe. So if you've got an Xbox, you can give it a go on Game Pass. And finally, a game I haven't played, but I have on other systems, and it is The Witcher Wild Hunt. And my God, Witcher on the Switch with all the expansions and DLCs is just absolutely phenomenal. This is, I'd say, a special edition, but CD Projekt Red, who make it, always give you some goodies. And it is in there. So yeah, I really need to play that. But I'll just show you what's in here. So there's a map, which I won't unfold, but yeah, a map. They do a little note as well. They're a really nice company at times when they're not fluffing up certain things. Some stickers. And a little Witcher compendium, so you can read about the lore of the land and things like that. On other systems, it's a fantastic game. I hope it runs well, but I haven't heard anything that says it doesn't. I also know that it's kept its value. It's a rather expensive game on the Switch, so it must have some really good ratings. Sorry, just putting that away. And that is my Switch collection, guys. It's a wonderful system, like I say, probably one of my favourite systems, purely because you can take it out and play. And that's the big draw. And that's where Nintendo separate themselves from the others. They try and be unique and I won't say gimmicky, but they offer features that the others don't. So yeah, gimmicky. But if you don't have a Switch, I highly recommend getting one. Even a Switch Lite, if you're not bothered about playing it on the TV. It's not as though you get 4K or anything like that. So the new Switch that's coming out has got a better screen on it. In my opinion, the screen on the Switch is already really good. So yeah, I have no complaints, and I don't think a lot of other Switch owners do. I think the only complaint was the battery life on the original one. It didn't last an awful long time if you was playing demanding games, but yeah, I don't have any problems with this. I get a good 3 to 4 hours out of it, which is quite a long time when you're out. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. A bit different. I don't do a lot of these collection videos, but yeah, I just hope you enjoyed it. If you have any of these games and you think that I've not sold it well enough or I've hyped it up too much, let me know. If you've got any suggestions for Switch games, then again, please let me know. I'd love to know what your favourite games are so I could maybe try them. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Take care.